I'm friends with some Satanists, and they're so nice, and they're so like they don't hurt fucking kids. They like really look down on that shit. Like there's no like. So I think there's one like Levian Satanism. I don't know the whole story, and I'm probably wrong. But like the problem is like you can only go off of what you've experienced. And I've met. You came to the fucking wedding I did, and like
you tricked me into that. Now everybody thinks I'm a Satanist.
It's what I
Son of a
so
bitch.
hard with the picture.
Son of a bitch. That picture comes up all the time.
When the picture pops up.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, it is.
I thought I was taking a photo for some dork who thinks he's a Satanist, who's the grandson of that guy.
Anton LaVey.
And he's getting married. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll take a picture with you. Fucking whatever I did.
Oh, dude, it's so
I
funny.
think we did the horns.
You're so far from a Satanist. I'm not a fucking Satanist. But
right, but now everybody thinks I am because of you son of a bitch. So let's tell the story to everybody because Duncan has the greatest comedy routine that I've ever seen.
Thanks, man.
I don't want to say too much about it, but this particular comedy routine involves demonic possession. And these folks thought it was a riot, and they wanted it at their fucking wedding. Do you know how crazy you have to be to want that at your wedding?
Can I tell you how it happened?
Did they see you somewhere?
No.
No?
So I'm at a cafe talking to like a distant friend who's this philosopher who's friends with him. And he's like, hey, Duncan, you know who Stanton LaVey is? I'm like, no. He's like the grandson of the founder of the Church of Satan. And I told him you've got this like satanic part of your act. And he wants to see it because his wedding is coming up. And so I'm like, when? Like where? He's like, so I go to his house, and in my mind, I'm expecting black candles, pentagrams, horror. So I go there. He's there with his fiance Zandora, wonderful person, and they are so fucking nice. She's Southern. She's made me this delicious Southern meal, and they have real absinthe. Like, not the bullshit you get at the bar. They've got, like, Romanian fucking absinthe with wormwood fucking in it. So that's the only thing that's a little different from a normal Southern meal. Is they're like, do you want some absinthe? I'm like, of course, yes. And so I'm drinking absinthe, eating, like, fried chicken. And he's showing me like family photos of Anton LaVey with like lions and stuff. And like,
do you watch horror movies at all?
Yeah.
Do you know that this is the plot of a horror movie? This is 100% the plot of a horror movie. They were so nice. They had me over their house. They gave me fried chicken and absinthe. They were so sweet. And the moment you leave, they're eating babies in the basement.
Dude.
And it's to throw you off the trail that they're so nice.
Okay.
They're really well rehearsed.
Listen, man, all I can do is go from subjective experience.
Right, but did you consider what was in the basement?
Of course.
Did you think maybe these people are involved in rituals?
Of course I did.
Satanists.
And they do rituals, but I mean, like, just like the church.
Admit? They do rituals? Like what kind of rituals?
So do Christians.
But is it like Christians, like you can have regular Christians, like you go to a really nice church, or you can go to a revival tent where a dude's got rattlesnakes.
Right.
And he's talking in tongues. He's got fucking serpents. Those guys die all the time. Those guys die. They get bit by snakes and they fucking die in front of their followers.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
I love, and I mean this in a non-sarcastic way, Jesus. I think about Jesus all the time. And the older I get, the more I love Jesus. And who did Jesus, like, Jesus hung out with people that were rejected by society. Jesus hung out with tax collectors, drunks, gamblers.
Yeah.
And so I remember being at the Comedy Store, and anytime I was hanging out with them at the Comedy Store, anytime there was someone left out, Zandora or Stanton would go over there, and it wasn't a recruitment thing. They would just like include them in the circle. Because why? Satan is the outcast, right? So it's like anytime they would...
Really? So is that part of their thing?
I don't know. All I'm saying is when you judge a tree by its fruit. And here's the thing, man. Like, and I think not those guys...
I never thought you'd be on here simping for Satan, bro.
I'm not simping for Satan. I'm just saying Satanism is Christianity.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
It's like a sect of Christianity.
It's like, yeah, because like that form emerges from Christianity.
But what about the evil stuff? Like, what are the tenets of Satanism? Like, what's the most evil stuff?
The evil stuff in
Sure.
Satanism?
Yeah.
So
Well, Christianity has evil stuff in it, right?
Okay, so
we both agree to that, right?
there's different forms of Satanism. There's LaVeyan Satanism. There's the Temple of Satan. They have
you can pick. Oh, so it's like
It's
Baptists, Protestants.
yeah, and
Mormons.
so there's the Romantic Satanism, right? So like,
Ooh.
in Romantic Satan, not like romantic in the sense of like, who is it? Milton. Like the idea is like you have this being that is like, I don't really want to be forced to worship you, and I don't understand necessarily why you should have all the power and why. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And then it gets thrown into hell, and then and suddenly this bifurcation emerges between good and evil, sacred and profane. And so that version of Satanism is looking at that not as like what is the general interpretation, which is the problem with Satan was like incredibly self-cherishing, self-absorbed, like really into himself, whereas God's like the sun, just
Right.
like radiating life and love, and like with no sense of like give anything back to me, just like love. Whereas Satan is more about like me. So in
Satan is like the worst human instincts.
or Satan is more about, maybe you could say the idea is like I am God, right? So like me, I'm God. So it's like my impulses and instincts and desires aren't bad. Why are you telling me it's bad to jerk off? Why are you telling me that it's bad to come? Why are you telling me these things are bad when like all of them make me feel happy and good? And why are you turning me into a fucking monster for this shit? And who the fuck do you think you are? I'm trying
Right.
in the best way possible to depict a more sort of anti-authoritarian mysticism, right?
Right.
So the symbol set they use is Satan, which most Satanists I've talked to are like, there's no fucking Satan, which I know everyone's like, of course they say that.
Of course, that's the horror movie, Duncan.
Right. But I would just invite you to, if you are like freaked out by Satanists, go hang out with one, and you are gonna have great cocaine.
There's already fucking problems with the first picture I took with that Satanist.